traders, Maverick Indicators here, and we are in one contract of gold. Let me expand my screen here. There we go. We're in one contract of gold. It's about 10:34 a.m. We were in two contracts and we actually got stopped out plus one tick. So we're up $10 on the day. But there's a couple of things I want to highlight here on the screen. Why are we in this trade? Well, number one, if you've been following our channel, Maverick Indicators, you're looking at the Maverick AI Pro that is on this screen. And when you see pink, it will most likely sink. That is our saying over here at Maverick Indicators. All right. So a couple of things. Number one, you can see there's this faint red background. That is the Maverick Indicator AI Pro, the Maverick AI Pro, telling me that, hey, we're in a downtrend. We have broken below the Maverick guide. The Maverick guide is this blue line right here. I will never, ever, ever trade without my Maverick guide on my screen. You can see that when we're below the Maverick guide, we go short, right? So we're below the Maverick guide, and this was market open. And if you took a trade breaking above the Maverick guide, you did very well here. So we have a red background. We are below our Maverick guide. We have down arrows. Okay, we got a down arrow here, which signaled. Now, it's not a sell signal. It's just the fastest part of your indicator saying, hey, you might want to think about going short. On top of that, there's another down arrow. Okay, so this just builds confidence. We're below our Maverick 200, and the Maverick 200 is red. Okay, oh, now it's starting to pop. The coolest thing on the screen, other than the red background, pink candles. When you see pink, it will most likely sink. Look at this. This was a huge move. We have down arrows. But also, I want you to see these lines on the screen. And notice how the candles are moving. They must fulfill this line to line. Like right now, it's heading towards this line right here. And if we get a close below this line, it has to fulfill to the next line. This is the Maverick Gold indicator. It only works pretty much right now. We have it only set for gold. And it's a fulfillment section, meaning that when it closes below one line, it has to really try hard. Sorry, it's not trying hard. It has to try hard to not fulfill to the next line. What do I mean by that? Look at this one. Fulfilled the line. Look at this one. Fulfilled 3 lines, and it stopped dead at this level. And then it came up, okay? It went above this line and it had to fulfill to the next line. It went to this line. It had to fulfill to the next line. Look how it just stops right at the line. By the way, these are pre-drawn lines. I didn't draw this. These lines get pre-populated every morning starting at 9:20 a.m. At 9:20 a.m., these will appear on your screen. Now look, now it can come within a tick. This is probably within a tick. Let me see. Yeah, just about 2 ticks within this line. And now we have a down arrow. We still have pink candles. So most likely, I would say we're going to touch this line right here. I'd be shocked if we didn't, okay? Because we have that down arrow, red background, pink candle. If you see pink, it'll most likely sink. And look, we're within 1 tick. 1 tick of that line. Okay, we're up $520 on this trade. We've already closed out one contract. We got stopped out for a $10 win. I just had my my stop loss at break even plus 1 or 2, kind of by accident. I'll be honest with you. So we're left with 1 contract on here. But hey, I'll take $10. So we just fulfilled this line right here. We just fulfilled the space between here and here on the Maverick Gold. Again, these are pre-populated lines starting at 9:20 a.m. okay? So we're below the Maverick guide, this blue line. We have a red background. We have pink candles, and we just fulfilled this line. Now, I'm going to move my buy up here. So now, if we close below this line right here, if we close, that's the operative word, close. Now we're within 15 seconds, 10 seconds of the closing of the candle. All right. If we close at least a few ticks below this line, I'm going to look to target the next line. There you go. Look. Okay. Came within came within 3 ticks right away of the next line. Okay, you can't make this stuff up. This is live. Okay, so now we're up $760 on this trade. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to get greedy. All right, I'm going to set my target right at that line. And it has to fulfill to the next line. Probability, high probability. Okay, so look, we're 1 tick away from this line. Boom. Okay, so what do we do here? Let's pull up our P&L. Look, it just, before I pull that up, look, it has, if it closes below here, it's like, you can't make this stuff up. It wants to fulfill to the next line. These are like magnetic lines. These are like magnetic lines. And look now, gosh, it's so much momentum. I mean, you got the red background. You're below the Maverick 200. You got pink candles coming all the way down. It wants to keep fulfilling. So let's pull this up real quick. All right, so we made $820 because remember how I before I could hit the record button, I got stopped out for break even plus 1 or 2 ticks. So I'm assuming I had it at 2 ticks because I have to, the fill isn't going to be perfect. So so we already had $10, big deal in the hopper. So we just pulled in $820, and it was clear as day what was going to, high probability what was going to happen. Again, this isn't financial advice, do your own research, but I'm talking probability. Okay, $820. Now, you may say, hang on. You said it has to fulfill from line to line. Well, that is if you close below the line, at some point it must fill to the next level. So right here, you see we broke the next line, but we didn't close below it. We did not close below this line, okay? So it's when you get a close below this line. So you close below this line, I just knew high probability we were going to at least get to this line. And then when we broke here, we came down here, I'm like, okay, we're going to get here. And now if we can close below this line here, there's a most likely chance that you could come back up, but you'll retest and you'll come down to this line. So these lines right here are pre-populated at 9. They show up on your screen at 9:20 a.m. So that would be this bar right here. Okay, why this bar? Because it's the close of the 9:25 candle. So you came up, you broke. It wants to keep fulfilling. You had a close above here. Guess what? You had a close above here, so it has to touch this line. You came down. You had a close below here. It's got to touch the next line. You had a close below here. It wants to touch the next line. You came up. You came up, and it had to touch this line. Look at how it just keeps this line. Look how close it is to this line. Look, it wants to touch this red line. It wants to. Okay, but we don't have a close yet below this line, so I can't say with high probability that it absolutely will touch the next line. Okay, but look, this is a pre-populated line, and look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 5-minute charts. 30 minutes to tap this line, and then it came back down. You had a close below here, so guess what? It's going to want to touch here. You came here, it wants to touch here. You broke below, it wants to touch here, and now this sucker wants to touch the red line. Watch. High probability you're going to tap that line or come within 1 tick. It loves to come within one tick. I have no idea why. But it just loves, look at this. This is a pre-populated line right here that it came down. It touched it to the tick. Okay, you just got to close below this line. So it's gonna wanna be magnetically attracted to this line. Okay, so let's just watch it. High probability, let me get up a drawing here. High probability rectangle. High probability you touch that line right there. Very, very high probability because you did a close below the previous gold line level, okay? And again, these are pre-populated levels that show up on your chart at 9:20 a.m. Sorry, I keep saying 8:20. 9:20 a.m. And you know why? Because we made $820 on this last gold trade. Okay, so you close below this line, you had an open, and it's gonna wanna touch this red line, okay? Now, could come up, could wick up, okay? Could wick up a little bit over this line, that's fine. And it could break this line a little bit and then come back down. As long as you close again below this line, it will continue to the next line. High probability, again, can the market do anything at any time? Yes. Could somebody tweet something and throw the market all off? Yes. But this is a high probability trade. Would I risk every dollar in my account on this trade that it's going to touch this red line? No. No way. That's stupid trading. That's just stupid trading. I don't know how else to say it. But we had a close below this line, so most likely, high probability, it wants to fulfill it. Even if it just taps it, it's gonna want to at least just tap it. And look, it's like a magnet. It wants to come to this line. Again, this only works. Boom. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. Okay, these are pre-populated lines. I didn't just draw this on the thing. Pre-populated 9:20 a.m. every single morning, Monday through Friday. This is the Maverick Gold. And what you're seeing here, these, man, I got out, way up here, huh? I could have doubled my profits on this trade. What you're seeing here is the Maverick AI Pro. Pink candles, red background. When you see pink, it will most likely sink. And now you see why we say this, okay? Red background below the Maverick guide. Listen, the Maverick Gold, these lines indicator, the Maverick Gold will only be available to our community. So you have to be a Maverick AI Pro or a Maverick Multi-X customer, okay? If you are either one of those, you're going to get access to the Maverick Gold. These levels are insane. Look how it just stopped at this level. Look how that level was already drawn. Look at how all these lines just tap, 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 fulfills, wants to keep going. And did I not call it that it would break this red line or at least tap it? And look, it had to go to the next level once it got down past a certain point. If you are interested in any one of these indicators, check us out, MaverickIndicators.com. That's MaverickIndicators.com will get you hooked up. You can check it out. And again, we have not released the Maverick Gold indicator just yet. These are indicators that are built by traders, then put into rigorous R&D, research and development with artificial intelligence, and to give traders an edge. MaverickIndicators.com. Come check us out. We'd love to have you.